felt sick to my stomach.
Aurora police stepped back into the national spotlight. The chief admits the criticism is warranted.
It's uncalled for, and it shouldn't have happened.
It's a Denver 7 action day with severe thunderstorms still possible through early tonight.
Hang up the cleats and put away the soccer ball. Most high school sports will not begin until next year.
When we saw a resurgence in our state, we had to come up with Plan B.
Not one person we've spoken with believes what's happening in this video is right. Not the mayor of Aurora, not its police chief, and certainly not the woman who filmed the video or the family depicted in it.
So why did it happen? Why did officers think it proper to order children to line the hot pavement or to handcuff people over a stolen car? They actually should have been looking for a motorcycle.
Then Interim Chief Vanessa Wilson first chalked up the whole thing to miscommunication. Well, tonight, her first as permanent head of Aurora PD, she admits her department was in the wrong and policies must change. Denver7's Jessica Porter has tonight's top story.
It's uncalled for, and it shouldn't have happened, and I wish we could take it back.
A different tone from now Chief Vanessa Wilson. Wilson initially blamed the use of license plate readers and miscommunication between officers and dispatch after a black family was wrongfully detained Sunday.
Well, I want to first again apologize to the family of those children and the driver, Miss Gilliam. Just hearing those young children crying, it just tears at your heartstrings. I think everybody I felt sick to my stomach.
The driver tells us she does not accept an apology, and the children were so traumatized, she's having a tough time getting them to bed.
The whole point of you being a police officer is protect and serve for the people. You did not protect and serve. You put a gun on 4 kids.
From pointing a gun at them during initial contact, detaining the children ages 6, 12, 14, and 17 on the hot ground with their hands behind their backs, handcuffing the teenagers. Gilliam wants their policies changed.
At what point was it high risk when you just barely pulled your gun out? You didn't see no weapons, you didn't see no harmful situation.
Chief Wilson says she has already taken steps to make sure it doesn't happen again.
I've already spoken to the division chief over training. He's already gotten a hold of the academy staff and talking about how we train with these different types of scenarios.
Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman called the incident improper and traumatizing. He spoke to Wilson about it.
I think what she attributed to in terms of what's needed to move forward is more and better training to where officers can make those kind of critical decisions.
The department is facing federal and state investigations over the death of Elijah McClain, public scrutiny over the handling of predominantly peaceful protests, and for not charging an officer found passed out drunk behind the wheel in uniform. Wilson promises to bring the change society is looking for.
And I just need to keep holding people accountable, being transparent, and also looking at our directives and making training changes where we need to make them so that people can have confidence in us again.
During that interview, the chief promised transparency, so I asked for the scanner traffic and body camera footage of the family being detained. We have not gotten a response to our request. You can watch my full interview with Aurora Police Chief Vanessa Wilson. Just go to thedenverchannel.com.
Severe storm bringing hail, even lightning to the Front Range tonight. Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson is tracking it all. And at least the storm doesn't seem to stick around in any one place for too long.
Well, they are moving pretty good. That's one positive point, Shannon, but we have a lot of warnings to contend with. Let's check out the big picture. First of all, severe thunderstorm watch in effect all across eastern Colorado until 9 o'clock tonight. So we have a brand new warning that's just come out at the top of the hour, and that is for southwestern Weld County, Firestone, Tacona, and Loch Buoy. That warning is going to impact DIA coming up shortly as it pushes quickly toward the southeast. The cell is right now located just a little bit to the north of Erie. Other storms continue out across the northeast plains and out across east central Colorado, south of Akron and Washington County, just east of Lyman in Lincoln County. Denver area, we're watching that cell now that's moving quickly to the southeast, heading toward the Brighton area. This is what it looks like currently from our camera in Westminster looking at that particular thunderstorm, and that's the cell from our Viero camera in Alt. The headlines: we'll have severe storms around until at least 9 o'clock. Large hail up to 2 inches in diameter possible, clearing later this evening as the storm threat moves farther to the east, but it may be back again for tomorrow afternoon. Full details coming up for you in just a few minutes.
All right, Mike, thank you. High school football has been delayed until spring. CHSAA announcing today games will begin in March and end in May.
Field hockey, gymnastics, boys soccer, bowling, and girls volleyball will also begin in March. Now, baseball, girls golf, lacrosse, girls soccer, girls tennis, boys swimming, track and field, and boys volleyball won't start until April.
And others won't have to wait as long. Basketball, ice hockey, skiing, spirit, girls swimming, and wrestling will begin in January. A few sports will even happen in the fall. Girls softball, boys tennis, cross country, and boys golf all get underway this month.
But remember, this is COVID we're talking about, so plans really only take you so far.
I feel like we have enough space and time to at least provide some level of opportunity for our kids. But if the state shuts down, it's not like CHSAA is going to be able to operate.
Precise guidelines for practices in the games are still being worked out. They will be posted online by Thursday. The Poudre School District tonight announcing classes will be held remotely through mid-October. Boulder Valley and St. Vrain also begin their semesters online before moving hopefully toward a hybrid model. And you can find details on the district's plans on the denverchannel.com.
And finding a way to school will be more challenging for DPS students this year. The district saying tonight the capacity will be a third of what it is usually. Younger students, those with special needs, and those experiencing homelessness will be given top priority. DPS will not return to in-person learning until at least mid-October. And if there is any silver lining to this, it's that the mask mandate appears to be working. 426 cases of coronavirus were reported today in Colorado. 250 were confirmed yesterday, and it wasn't long ago that 600 was more the norm. 340 hospital beds are in use, and that's about standard these days. Governor Polis is encouraged by the data and hopes Colorado will keep it up.
The way that you've lived the last week, the last 2 weeks, that's what we have to have inside of us for the long haul. That's how we have to live for the next few months, the way that we've been living the last few weeks. Not the way that our July went, more like the way our May went.
The governor also credits the 10 p.m. cutoff on alcohol sales for stabilizing the numbers. That order is set to expire in 3 weeks.
Weed will be on the ballot in Littleton this November. Right now, dispensaries can only sell for medicinal purposes. This ballot initiative would allow them to sell recreationally as well. Supporters say Littleton stands to make as much as $1.5 million every year in sales taxes. A small homeless camp has moved from the governor's mansion to Park Hill and is now on the move again tonight. And wherever it ends up, the story is going to be the same. Neighbors won't want it. The city won't agree on what to do about it. Here's Denver7's Sean Toll.
It may be relatively small, but it caused a big stir on social media the past few days.
And there has been a huge fight going on. They finally deleted the thread, but there are so many different opinions. I'm panicked about it. I've been losing sleep about it.
That being the small homeless camp that popped up just north of the former Park Hill golf course.
These folks did their due diligence to find a place that was going to be respectful to the surrounding neighbors. And so, you know, their biggest question was, where do they go?
Those who set up camp say they moved here from the governor's mansion. Neighbors worry it has the potential to grow.
I'd like to know what we can do to avoid it happening here.
And that's where the confusion grows. Denver7 reached out to Councilman Chris Herndon, who represents the district. He did not get back to us, but told neighbors the golf course was submitted to the city as a potential safe outdoor space. He says that suggestion came from Councilwoman Candy Baca, which her office denies.
Some constituents suggested this location for the very fact that it's a wide swath of land with nobody on it, and considering the pandemic, that this could be a safe place for people to go. But it was not the recommendation from our office.
But as this small encampment moves on to yet another undisclosed location, neighbors still have concerns.
I mean, I don't think I'm out of line for being concerned about that.
All still leaving the question, where will they go? Sean Toll, Denver7.